Darrell, first of all, reflections on the 3-0 win at Hartlepool. Is it as handsome as the scoreline suggests?
It was a good performance. Good performance by the players. Obviously a long day, long trip up there, but back at 4 in the morning. But it was pleasing. We had 200 fans up there. I thought the support was magnificent for 200 fans to come up all the way on a Tuesday night, and just pleased we could reward them with a good performance.
Yeah. What clicked last night?
I think you've seen a difference when we scored the first goal in the game. I think that breeds confidence through the team. We've had the opportunities against the so-called maybe bigger teams in the league and haven't taken that, and sometimes when you don't do that, they take their chance and they take the lead in the game, which changes the complexion of the game to a certain degree. So, but keeping the belief within the group of players to know that it'll turn. I'm a great believer if you're creating chances, eventually them chances are going to start coming in. The problem is if you're not creating enough.
Did you wonder if the first goal was going to come because you were dominating?
Well, you do. Listen, the way the season's planned out in the first 10 games, yes, definitely. You're just thinking, doing my head in a little bit on the sideline because we're dominating the ball. The movement's good, just not quite finishing the end product. But then it came, and perhaps could have been 2-3-0 up at half time, but it was a strong performance. But like I say, you've got to move on from that. It's 3 points, happy days, few goals, good. Pleasing that we could reward our 200 fans that came up there on the day, and now we go on to Morecambe.
Yeah, I mean, was one of the messages, and we don't want this as a one-off. We want
they don't get carried away. It's a tough league. They're not. I wouldn't say there's a group that does get carried away. It shows that from last season. The group's not changed that much. So they're not jumping off the walls. They're not going crazy at the end of the game. They've won a game, and you move on to the next. But it's a tougher league, and you can see with the inconsistency of the results on certain teams through the league that there's not a lot in it. If you can get that bit of momentum, you can push yourself, propel yourselves quickly into the top 7. If you don't, you can quickly propel yourself the other way. So you're just about keeping the focus on each individual game.
Matty, I think, started last season waiting for that first goal. I know he's got 2 now, but what could that do for his confidence?
Listen, Matty Taylor. He's great. He's always high on the assists as he was last year. He scored me 20 plus goals last year. He's got a couple of goals this year, a couple of assists this year. My strikers are playing their part. Yeah, we'd like them to score more of the goals at certain areas, but I think the more of a concern at times is not enough goals from the rest of the team. When they start adding in, and we've had some good chances from set plays and other members of the team that aren't strikers to finish an opportunity, and that opens the game up as well. So there's a bigger picture to it at times. You've got Jermaine on 3 now, Ellis has got 3, Matty's got a couple of goals, so I'd like to see me other players chipping in, and it was nice to get Bowden on the score sheet last night. Yeah,
tell me about Billy Bowden. You gave him a start, and I thought it was a very confident, assured display.
He's done well, Billy. He had his injury problems last season. Took a little bit of time to get up to his fitness levels, but technically he's up there with one of the better players in the club. He's a great lad, great attitude, ticks all the right boxes, coming on not on a great deal, and if he keeps performing like that, I'm sure we'll sit down again.
Did Jake Gosling set a standard for himself?
Well, he's done that in games before. Jake's got to add consistency to his game, but he's a young lad. I think you can all see when he's on top of his game, he becomes a little bit unplayable at times. Does Jake? He's very well liked in my changing rooms. He's a very happy, smiley sort of lad, and if we can put a bit of consistency, because he's got a sweet left foot, he's got the attributes, and if he's doing the ugly side of the game, dropping in pockets and defending, which I seen him in the 80th minute yesterday, coming back helping Brownie out. It's an important part of the game he's got to add to, and if he can bring his his real quality attributes on a more consistent basis, he'll become a big player for us.
Mark McChrystal was sound on his return.
Yeah, Macca and Lee Mansell as well, 2 experienced players. I looked at it Saturday and I thought, I weren't too happy what I seen Saturday at times, and change it round a little bit, and it worked. Sometimes it don't work, sometimes it does, and Macca and Mance came in and had good games.
I was going to say, you get good results and bad results, so is it too simplistic to say 5 changes justified the selections?
Yeah, listen, I've got a talented group that sometimes don't realise that they are as good as they are at times, and the key thing is not to get frustrated in times when we're missing the chances and getting bogged down with all what goes with a little bad run, and just keeping the focus. And you can see by the mentality of the group, the way we started the game last night, that we was bang up for it, controlling the ball, controlling the possession, controlling the chances. So no, it was a good, strong performance.
Are you still managing Daniel Ledbetter's return from injury?
Yeah, well, I looked at Daniel, and ideally I want to play him 90 minutes Saturday, having just come back from an hamstring, and then I weighed it up. Would a 5-hour trip, 10-hour trip actually do his hamstring any favours in? So, with me regards not wanting to start him, I thought, well, I'm not even going to take the kid to do 10 hours on a coach, you know, and risk it. So he'll step up his training the back end of this week, and we'll assess him ready for Saturday.
A lot of managers, you win 3-0, it's almost assumed you'll have an unchanged lineup, but are you treating Morecambe like a project, ignoring what happened?
I think you know me well enough now, and people know me well enough that I don't really fall into that trap, albeit I've got a lot of thinking to do because the lads put in a great performance against Hartlepool, but if I feel there's a need to change the formation or change the shape or do it as I say, I'll do that. But you know, the lads are giving me plenty of food for thought because the performance was strong. What
will Morecambe do? What kind of opposition on Saturday?
Well, they've lost a couple of games, but they've been up there in the top 8. Jim does a fantastic job up there. It's a good catchment area for players to get players in, but he does well with that. I think they've improved each season while he's been there. So it'll be a tough test. It's another long journey for us. You know, the Tuesdays obviously Hartlepool and Morecambe. So, but we go up there confident. 1 defeat in 25 away games, isn't it? So, you know, we go up there in a confident, but also knowing it's going to be a tough game.